Well, I hope you're all ready for Vlogmas Day 14. Okay, so I'm predicting that today's Vlogmas is going to be very long because I got a lot of clips and I'm gonna be talking a lot because, you know, this just brings back memories. So tonight I went to my high school's Christmas concert. We are a school for the performance arts, and usually the Christmas concert is kind of exclusive to the vocal band and strings program, and we play a bunch of music because it's Christmas and there's carols and there's a bunch of cool music to play. But this year they did something different where they had a lot of integration from a lot of the different arts areas. To be honest, as someone who used to go to the school myself and knows what it means to be on like the performer side of things, I was kind of like, I'm not for all of this integration because, you know, Christmas concert is kind of supposed to be our thing, and usually we have just 2 shows, which I feel like a lot of high schools only have 1 show, but we always had 2, and they were both sold out. Like, that's how insane it was back in my day. But this year, when they started off, they had like live art going on, they had like dancers incorporated into everything, and like I was definitely like, this is cool, but I kind of just wanted it to be focusing on just the music students. But as the performances went on, I was kind of like, you know, I'm digging this. This is really nice. And I know if I was still in school, I would definitely love to be with other arts areas, because that's something that we always really wanted. We wanted to kind of see what everyone else was up to and really like perform together. So I am glad that they did that this year. So again, these are high school students and they sound so good. And they are all so incredibly talented. Like, it's actually crazy. I was just like thinking a lot about the past and how I kind of felt throughout high school and stuff, being around all those very talented, very wonderful people. And, you know, usually when I talk about high school to like my other friends, I don't make much of it because it's kind of hard to describe. It's hard to describe being in that kind of environment where you're just surrounded by such talented people. I know I've used that word like a bunch of times, but like, it's incredible. It's also a little disheartening. It can be disheartening at times because, yeah, these people, there's a whole program dedicated to the thing that you were supposed to be good at. Maybe you were the big fish in the little pond from your elementary school, and now here you are with all these other people, and you're finding out that these people have actually worked on their talent longer than you have, maybe even better than you, and you have to like actually admit that and actually like take that in. And it's pretty hard, especially when you are at that age, but it was definitely a really cool experience. I'm glad that I filmed a lot of this because it showcases the talent that's there, and it showcases what the school really is capable of and what kind of goes on and what everything that we do is for. It's for the performance, it's for the chance to show everyone this is what we've been working on. Like, this is like the whole curriculum is kind of based around this. Like, it's crazy how dedicated I'm like crying, how dedicated all of the teachers are. They even said a thank you to like the principal and vice principal. It's like really cool to be in that environment where you actually have adults who appreciate that side of you, your artistic side, so much, and they want to do everything that they can to bring it out of you and to just make you a better artist. in whatever arts area that you're in. So anyways, that was my little like rambly speech about high school itself. When I was in high school, they did not allow cameras like at all. They were super like adamant about going up to people in the audience and being like, no, you need to put your camera away, you need to put your phone away, blah, blah. But they were so lax. Like I got a lot of footage, and I've seen a lot of footage from online, like on YouTube after like I graduated. So I feel like I'm not really quite sure, maybe they're just not noticing it as much, or maybe because they realize that if other people see these videos online, they're gonna be like, oh, that seems like a cool school, and then they're gonna want to go. So they're realizing the power of social media. Wow. Sorry I'm like whispering, by the way. My parents are asleep, so I'm trying to keep it down. I was like trying to be really stealthy, like hide my camera. I have these like big sleeves, so I was like hiding my camera in that and like my phone and everything. But I look over and like I tried to get a shot of this, but I don't think it worked out. I look over and this guy fully has like a tripod set up, and on it he has a DSLR cam pointed straight at the stage, and he's just getting the entire thing. And I was like, okay, if this guy can do that, like I'm gonna do this. So as I mentioned before, we used to have 2 shows, and I remember on Wednesday night I would always have my hair curled, like I was all done up, and then on Thursday night I would always have my hair straight because I was too lazy to curl it the next day, and I was just so tired. And that was like something I did every year, so it's not very important, but I thought I would just share anyway. This year the MCs were telling us that they have like 5 different shows, and they have a bunch of matinees too, and I was like, what? Oh yeah, I think it was like they had a Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday night show, and then 2 matinees. And like that's a lot for like a Christmas concert. Like that's quite a bit. I saw a bunch of my old teachers. I didn't say hi to any of them because I didn't really want to make small talk. I don't know. I wasn't really feeling it tonight. But okay, so my favorite teachers are obviously my former vocal teachers, Mr. Wong and Mr. Hauser. I love them so much. So Mr. Hauser is mostly in charge of the intermediate choir. He always does something like really fun, and he usually incorporates like a band into whatever song he chooses, and he always has a fun little message right before they perform.
I'm going to speak tonight, and this is our 3rd performance. We've had 2 performances in the last 2 days, but I have to let you in on something. The first 2 performances, the band and the choir never finished together. We never finished together. We had an amazing performance, but we didn't finish. I want to finish tonight, together. So we have made adjustments. I'm going to check that the drummer can see me tonight. We said our prayers. And actually, I wore my lucky socks. They taste better than the socks. Really. If we don't finish, apparently they have cake on sticks out there. I'll be downstairs crying.
And intermediate choir like always closes the first act, so he knows what he's doing. course, senior choir, they're just, Mr. Wong is in charge of that, and he's just such a happy individual. He's just such a kind, wonderful man. I remember for performances, you know, we would be up there, we would be like pretty nervous and pretty like, oh, like, okay, here we go. And he would kind of see that we were like really nervous, so he would like get up in front of us, and you know, his back's to the audience and he's just looking at us, and he's like, smile everyone. And it makes you smile because you're like, you're so cute and like, I love you. Going there tonight really made me miss being in such a artistic community. Not that I'm like no longer a part of that community or anything, but like to be surrounded by that every single day is something that's really special. And I feel like I definitely take it for granted a lot because it wasn't like your typical high school experience. And maybe I complain about that. Maybe I say like, oh, it was boring on the days that we didn't have performances. But on the days that we do something like this, like it was totally worth it. And I love that I had the chance to have that experience and have that opportunity. Senior choir is just, you know, you get into the school and you hear the senior choir and you're like, they're so crisp and like smooth and beautiful, and you're like, am I ever gonna be like that? Am I ever gonna know music this well and like be able to sing it that well? And then you get to grade 12 and you're kind of like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but okay. And then the younger years look up to you and it just like repeats. But senior choir is just like the ultimate choir, and like they just sound so good. Even though like these students are younger than me, like I get that same feeling. I'm kind of like, this is the senior choir. A Carter tradition, which the MCs did mention that we sing a version of Oh Holy Night that was arranged by the original vocal teacher who was there when the school first opened in 1990. And every single year we have sung this choral version of Oh Holy Night, and it's so, so beautiful. Definitely brings me back to when I got one of the solos, because there are two. The time I did it, it was also a Wednesday night, so I had my hair all curly and I did it, and it was like, it's so, and like to me it was like I entered this hall of fame, even though like no one even considered it like that. It was a big deal to get this solo, but like I don't think anyone really thinks about like a hall of fame of all the people who have had that solo. But I'm so grateful that I'm one of them, and to know that it goes back like that far and it's been sung every single year, and that I got the chance to be part of that like history, is so special to me. Every time I hear the new people sing, it just takes me back to when I did it. Because I'm selfish. I'm just kidding, not like that, but just in like, I'm so proud of myself and I'm proud of them because I know that, or at least I hope that they make a big deal out of this in their mind as much as I did. Outside of Carter is really gonna know the significance of that. Even people in the vocal program might not even know the significance of that, but it's always been really special to me. And it's something that I will definitely carry around with me for the rest of my life. The one thing I will say though is that like junior choir and intermediate choir only got one song, and that's pretty sad. I wonder what the rehearsals are like, because when I was in school, we had at least like 4 or 5 songs. Maybe junior choir we did 3 songs one time, but like one song, like it's not very nice. And I know, like especially the first year I did it, it was so long and I used to go really late, so I understand why they like cut it down. But one song, like that's definitely, it almost seems like a waste. Like, I'm sorry to say, but it kind of feels like, you know, what if you're the parent of someone just in the choir and you only hear them sing one song? There is like an ending song where everyone's in it, but like you want to see more from the smaller choirs as well. I hope they change that back, or at least give them like 2 or 3 songs, because I feel like that's a little better. Okay, also a really random but really funny moment was that like they were giving away a raffle and then the person won and then like the announcer was just like, congratulations, but everyone heard it because he said it into the microphone. Oh my gosh. And then I whispered to Isabel, and a glass of ice water. Because when we were at like the sushi restaurant after we went to the cat escape room, I'll link that below. Ooh, wow. She asked Jairus, her boyfriend, to ask the waiter for like a glass of water so that she wouldn't have to talk like at all. But then the waiter was like at our table and she fully could have just like spoken to the waiter, but instead she whispered to Jairus, and a glass of ice water. But like we all heard her whisper, so we were like, what the heck? Oh my gosh, it was really good. I have a few close-ups of my friend's sister and it's pretty funny because I was zooming in on the art just to show you guys. Right underneath the art was her sister. Isabel says she was the stem of the Christmas tree. She also said she hit her head like 3 times on that. Again, in the beginning, like there was just a lot to look at. Like it was just like, there's live art here, there's like the musicians playing right now, the dancers are going across the stage. Like I'm not quite sure what I am supposed to be looking at, but by the end of it, I felt it all. to bend down to accommodate me, but yay. I don't know what to say either because I feel like you guys are uncomfortable, so I'm like, I'm gonna be uncomfortable too.
No.
Isabel and I used to go to high school here as well, so we were just reliving some memories. And Jairus did not.
I didn't. I'm jealous. Everyone's behind you. Like they're like, oh my god, are you guys taking a video? And they don't want to be in the video.
And that is all I have for you guys. So thank you so much for joining me on day 14 of Vlogmas, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 15.